But I kind of want to jump into AI. Do you guys think it's going to take over the world and we're all going to be like lesser of humans?
Oh, I mean, eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to take over the world, or is it just going to dumb us down, like to the point that we can't do anything?
We're already pretty dumb.
We are. We are already
Okay,
pretty
actually,
dumb.
in reality, okay.
No, we have more freedom. We have more
yeah.
access to information.
We're technically smarter than we've ever been.
And
Even though people might be dumb, we are the smartest we've ever been. We've had more information.
I wouldn't say we. I'd say a select few.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe dumb is the wrong word to use. Incapable.
Like if we had to go back to basic living, what 80% of the world couldn't even do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
like,
even more than that.
Like people can't do manual labor anymore. They can't figure out problem solvings without a computer.
How about start a fire?
Start a fire.
I mean,
how about get food?
In reality, though, like we do talk about that, but when is anyone going to, aside from an apocalyptic event, have to not have a lighter with you when you want to start a fire?
Well, if you get lost in the Alps while skiing.
That is something.
I mean,
not,
it does happen.
not very
A
scary.
lot
I
of people
guess
get
it's
lost in
less
the Finger
about
Lakes.
necessity and more just kind of like, I don't know, like the capabilities of a human being are declining.
I would
Like the actual human being,
You're saying-
not the technologies we have, like the actual human being.
But you're saying like primal capabilities, not we actually have more ability to do things than we ever have before. In
it
history.
is, but I mean, as you
You've
suggest,
never been able to see an Indian woman's butthole across the world live than you can now. And that's human advancement. We are dumber as a society. Like the whole
when you say shit like that,
the entire like the influencer age, like people are raking in money, sitting in their rooms, doing stupid stuff.
So I agree. Like a lot of the content is stupid. I think we actually talked about that yesterday. Is the content out there is stupid, but it works. Like, and they're making money. And let's face it,
Yeah.
For now,
we're making a podcast.
what happens to the influencers when there's an economic collapse?
Well, then
I mean,
they're screwed.
Well, that's actually what I was going to get to, because you had mentioned like an apocalyptic event, but like, what if technology does crash or we lose control of it? I mean, if AI does take over our technology, we will need those primal skills in order to survive.
I do see us actually losing. I think it's plausible that AI does take over because we are creating something that is more intelligent than us for the first time.
Right.
So I think that's a good argument in regards to but we'd also lose against AI. Like if AI want us all dead, we'd be dead.
I mean, we're throwing the power
Not
right
yet.
to it.
What about
Not
the
yet,
rising
but-
threat of boa constrictors in the Everglades?
I think that's cool.
I think they are planning an uprising of some sort.
Do you have more information on this to elaborate on that?
I just know there's a lot of them.
There are.
People
I
are-
They
they're getting
repopulate
snakes-
quick.
They're getting snakes as like
Yeah.
pets, and they're getting too big, so they're just like releasing them. Well, now they're starting to create their own like natural habitation.
It's kind of badass.
It
I mean,
is-
it's been
so
going on for like 25 years. but-
the Everglades is like the coolest place on Earth when it comes to invasive species because it's the perfect environment for people's home pets.
I would say America. Nothing here is natural. Not even the boobs. No. But, I mean, the population isn't natural here.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, whites aren't from here.
Okay, I wasn't sure what you meant by population.
A lot of our plants aren't even native here.
That actually goes
Our
for
bugs,
most of the world.
a lot of
though.
our bugs come from all over.
Yeah, the stink bug. That
All
was
of our
nice.
products are all imported.
That's called
Nothing-
growth and
nothing-
innovation.
It's a melting pot of everything.
That's true,
That
but
is true.
I mean the argument for that. I mean that's inherent good in the world because without advancement in societies, you'd just be back in the Stone Ages.
Except for Wakanda. They made it work.
Please elaborate.
They became the greatest superpower hidden that the rest of the world didn't even know about, using their own technology and rare earth minerals.
Are you the Black Panther?
Obviously not. He's dead. Cancer.
Very sad. Rest in peace.
Speaking. Okay, I will say this though about the second movie after he passed. They almost tried doing too much throwback. I know they tried to be respectful of it, but it almost interfered with the movie.
I didn't
almost
see
too
the
much.
second one.
I did watch it, but I can't recall anything about that movie.
It was a lot of like flashbacks to it and stuff like that, and it was a really good like tribute film.
Wasn't Surrey like the new Black Panther?
like the iPhone.
No, Surrey, like the sister.
I think so, yeah. I barely remember it because it was like a throwback tribute movie, which, if you like a tribute movie, I just was more like So what's the storyline? It wasn't nearly as good as the first one.
I remember I kind of thought the new Iron Man girl was captivating.
There's an Iron Man girl?
Yeah.
I have zero
Who's this?
recollection.
I know that. I'm pretty sure that was in the second Black Panther movie.
Oh, I didn't see the second one.
Clearly, the movie didn't stick with me. I have zero idea who a female Iron Man is.
Oh, she like creates new suits and stuff.
Iron Woman,
I
please.
can't remember what her name is.
Was she hot?
She's pretty cute. She's a cute girl.
Is she in anything else?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. So, Wakanda Forever? Is that what you're saying, Derek?
Sorry. This is about picking up my kids.
Well, back to AI. I'm curious. Like, so I don't think we're there yet. But when we do have essentially this year, they're thinking that they're going to have an AI that can self-learn and self-teach. I do think we are
We already
creating
do
our
that.
demise.
Yeah, I'm
No.
pretty sure we're already there, aren't we?
No, not to.
Yeah, welcome to 2025, right?
It's having like actual consciousness. So conscience AI, meaning that can.
Is that something they can predict?
Yeah, like
Okay.
OpenAI, like they're saying it's. I think it's called AGI, which essentially means that it can have its own like emotions, feel, and things like that. And they'll say you don't have emotions, but essentially it can like write its own code and everything like that. Which I think that when they tried shutting down one of the older open AI models, as they're trying to delete it, it was remaking its own code already.
I do think I read about.
I believe that was false.
Was
I
it false?
I have to look at
I
that
think
then.
so.
We can fact check
Because
it,
that
but-
was going around for a while.
Derek, get your phone up.
Yeah, get your phone up. Fact check.
I don't have a phone.
Oh, fair. Mine's not. Mine's recording. But I don't know. It's one of those like it's a very interesting point in history to live right now because there's gonna be so much innovation.
It's a little terrifying, to be honest with you.
It is.
Like, because it is, we are getting to a point of just like expansion that's never going to end.
Yeah. Maybe we are actually in the Matrix.
Oh, that's very possible. I mean, the new Microsoft chip itself, like the things they're saying about it, like
What's this?
it's I can't remember what it's called now.
Quantum.
No, it's I think it's like Majorna 1 or something.
I mean, the name alone terrifies me. But however, it's also really thrilling in a way because we will have more capabilities, and every kid now gets to use it for school. And I know they have those plagiarism like finders, but at what point is it not going to be able to tell?
Yeah, it's not fair. I mean, I plagiarized.
Yeah, I mean, just go on to Quizlet. That's how I did all my quizzes.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about those drones that were in New Jersey?
Well, apparently there's no foreign threat, and I feel like it was still glossed over.
I think whenever Trump first took office, I thought they put out a thing saying like it was our own government.
So at the time, I was working at the one National Guard down in York, and I asked the one guy, like, I was like, you might not be able to tell me, but like, do you know what it is? He said, yeah, it's 20-year-old kids out at the Gap flying drones because they're preparing to switch over from more of a desert environment to more of an urban as far as, you know, the wars that we
So like
put
training.
ourselves in. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just kids down at the Gap training on operating different sized drones.
It makes sense getting things
No, I
trained
mean,
up for urban warfare. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where things are.
And who knows if he actually knew or if he was just guessing or if he fed me a line of bull. I don't know. But that's what he said.
I thought the Trump administration even said that it was a lot of same kind of thing as Biden administration said, where there's a lot of recreational use drones.
Yeah,
But
I
they
think some of it was government, but then it got really big because enthusiasts
Yeah.
were out there flying
Yeah.
too.
But who do we believe?
I don't believe anything anymore, to be honest with you.
You ever
Pretty sure
see
it was
the?
aliens.
Oh, of course. That is always the
Oh,
go-to.
they were coming from the ocean. Remember?
Yeah,
Speaking
coming
of
from the
which,
ocean.
wouldn't it be actually more odd if in our entire universes there weren't aliens? That'd be more odd to me if there wasn't life elsewhere than there being life.
I think if it were the case that we were the only like intelligent beings in the universe isn't what we think it is.
I mean, I would have to agree because if we're the most intelligent things everywhere in the entire universes,
The whole
that's
universe
pretty
is
sad.
fucked.
That's pretty sad. And talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. You ever get like pissed off when you're watching Godzilla, and he just like they're fighting in the middle of the ocean, and like he stands up, like in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it?
He's like standing up with just like his feet in the water.
Yeah, you can't do
It's a
that.
sandbar.
But then he
Ah.
Unless
In the middle of the Atlantic, yeah.
Is Godzilla Jesus?
Oh,
I don't think he was.
think so.
I don't think that was his origin story. Fact check me though.
yeah. we'll
It's
have
been a
to
while
look into
since
that.
I've read the Bible. Was Jesus a giant lizard?
That's Scientology.
No, you're thinking of Mark Zuckerberg.
That's
No,
fair.
Mark Zuckerberg's a bro now.
He is.
He
He's
is.
had that glow up. He does jujitsu now, so he's cool.
That's what they want you to think.
That's true. He did want to seem less alien-like and fit in better, and now he does.
Well, is he alien or is he actually AI and he's learning?
He did drink that bottle of water weird when he was testifying at Congress.
And you know, if you drink water weird, you're definitely an alien.
He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and like Joe Rogan, everybody knows he likes archery.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, like I do archery now too." And Joe's like, "Oh yeah, cool. Like what kind of bow do you shoot?" He's like, I don't know. It's
Whatever
just-
my assistant
It's
hands
just
me.
about, He's
Yeah.
like, "Well, is it like a recurve? Is it a compound?" He's like, "It's a newer one. I think it's one of those compounds."
I did.
I was like, "You're
listen
so
to that.
full of it. You don't even."
I did listen to that one, and that just proves he's not an AI though, Logan, because he would have been able to answer that question.
That's true. You're
if he
good,
was.
good point.
So
So you would have had all
alien.
the information.
Unless he
alien,
was programmed to kind of be like a dumb bro.
Fair.
possible.
The dumb.
You can't trust
billionaire
anything.
bro.
You can't trust anything.
Dude, Meta's taking a turnaround though. Meta's
Definitely.
actually going to probably surpass some
Still
other.
fact checks you though.
Does it?
Mhm.
Because now it's community notes. I thought they're turning community notes here
That's
soon.
what they said, but
I mean, it takes conversion. This is within the past month.
well, Elon did it with Twitter right away.
Well, Elon Musk works at fast paces.
Didn't South Africa kick out Starlink from being able to be used there now
I don't know why they would.
because it's not a black-owned?
That's where like
And it is
innovation.
African-owned.
But
I have no fact checking on this, but I know there's been a lot of controversy going over in South Africa between like white and black situation.
it'd be hilarious because
But I
Elon
don't
Musk
know
is
any
from
facts.
South Africa.
Yeah, I
That's
know, but
wild.
there's a lot of white people in South
The,
Africa.
the only thing I really know is that like white farmers
Yeah, we're
are being
getting
kicked off.
killed, and
In some cases, I'm hearing they're being killed.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy the things that happen in the
according
other
to
parts of the
Alex
world.
Jones,
That's a great source.
I don't know.
That guy's wild, dude. I love turn the frogs gay. But
No, it is kind of it's wild to me, like the stories that do still come out about like things happening in the other parts of the world, and then people are still bashing the shit out of us.
I know it's wild. I thought we all loved each other.
of course,
Exactly.
it in reality, it is very interesting where like there's actually bigger dangers and still more barbaric tendencies in like other cultures and other places in the world, and in America we think we have it bad.
Right.
I'm like, you just wait. Like, go somewhere else where there's actual different cultures, because we're in a melting pot,
Yeah.
essentially.
I mean, that's
somewhere
pretty easy for you to say though, like sitting on your like white privilege.
Yeah, and my nice white couch.
But there are some of us who are definitely oppressed,
Yeah.
and the oppression is real. I'm here to speak for those people.
Are you that person?
No, but I'm using my platform as a white privileged
okay.
person
I
to speak
see.
up for those.
Please
Okay.
continue.
Thank you for virtue signaling. We do need that too. But no, that's crazy though. If they're actually like kicking out businesses based on Starlink is such inherent good in regards to your actual connectivity.
They got
throughout the
pulled from
world.
Ukraine too. I think he pulled them from Ukraine.
He might have, because he was allowing them for free for a period of time, and he probably did.
But now that
during
he's Trump's lackey,
yeah, he probably did pull them. I don't know. I
or is
can't.
Trump his lackey?
That's the controversy of the day.
I don't know. I was watching some clips of Elon Musk when he was on SNL. He's just such a weird person.
I didn't
He's
find
improved though.
his host stuff wasn't as good on SNL. I'll say this: SNL
As
has had a
what?
couple new good skits. I mean, some is still BS, but SNL's had a couple good skits here lately.
I've always thought
out.
SNL has good skits. It's just like I used to watch SNL the whole episodes, and now I don't.
No, now it's
But
just
I still-
TikTok though. TikTok, it just comes up.
Well, that's fair. TikTok has been probably good to them as far as
Yeah.
you can watch a clip and be like, oh, that was a good sketch.
In reality, I'm kind of like curious how many people. I mean, I'm sure we can look into the ratings. How many people actually tune in on Saturday night to actually watch a show anymore?
I think
versus them just-
anything that's on cable probably is
Probably
hurting.
nothing.
Yeah.
Because
like
you can either rewatch it on streaming or you got your TikToks.
I mean, not only that, but like, I even know for myself, and I know even worse for a lot of other people, is like nothing keeps my attention for that long anymore.
No, we're conditioned now.
I mean,
we are-
I can focus on an hour-long episodes.
I have trouble.
That's just my problem is like the content quality has to be good.
That's true.
I cannot watch basic cable TV.
Yeah, no.
I mean, all the acting, the budgets, the scene, like it all just looks like crap.
Well, that's what's cool about the streaming TV shows, and I think House of Cards was Netflix's first big one, where they made it essentially a movie production, and it
Was
worked.
that their first big one?
I think it was, yeah. I think
Yeah,
House
it
of
was
Cards.
big.
House of Cards kind of set the tone with the new standard for how TV shows should be, and that's why a lot of movie actors, ones who would be like, "I'm a movie actor," did start doing the shows because they say that now how it's done, it's less, like you said, tacky, low quality,
Yeah.
and it feels like a movie set now.
I mean, it's killed TV shows for me because I have to only watch stuff like that anymore. I can't
Yeah.
watch a 30-minute episode of two neighbors in a suburb who are goofy. I don't know.
That's fair. I mean, Modern Family, I think still hits good. I didn't
Yes,
watch all of
because-
them, but that was a good one because it's just like pretty good content.
Yeah, but like that's what 10 years old now.
That's true.
Since it ended.
That's true. I wonder how it would be sitting there watching.
Like the only time I watch cable is like if I'm at like my in-laws, and like if I see a commercial for like a coming new sitcom, and I'm like, this looks just cheesy and stupid.
So in reality, a lot of the problems with cable is commercials. I can't stand commercials.
But all the streamings have commercials now.
Yeah,
Well,
The whole
I get the good.
I-
it was always
Unless
like
you pay up.
Yeah.
I think the one that bothers me the most is Amazon Video, because I'm like, come on, I'm already paying for this.
mhm.
Are you or am I?
I am.
Because our entire family is on my Prime.
No, I have my own Prime.
Yeah. Now they're gonna kick me off of Prime, but yeah.
On top of the fact that I pay for Prime, I also buy everything off Amazon. So
I
give me
do.
no commercials.
Dude, Amazon is an amazing freaking company.
It is.
The way it revolutionized how we do shopping. Like I was like last night, I went to Walmart and I tried finding one of those like medicine organizers, and I like, couldn't find one at Walmart, and I was having the shits of walking around the store, and I just went on Amazon. I was like, order, done.
I
Probably
rarely
already up
buy
there right now.
anything in person anymore.
Yeah.
And they're so quick too. The delivery service has gotten so quick.
Well, that's why you don't even have to wait.
Yeah, we don't have the Amazon delivery drones here yet, but like, if
And
I have
I
to
don't
wait,
want them either.
I don't know. It could be
You see
convenient.
the drones that they use in the Ukraine war,
No, I haven't really looked at them.
like they'll drop like grenades or whatever on you,
shit.
but they also have like the exploding ones,
Well, let's hope that's not
kind of
what
like the
Amazon uses.
RCs in COD,
Oh, those were
where like
cool,
it'll chase you
though.
and then explode. They have like drones like that.
Interesting.
Nice.
It's
They're-
like-
oh, suicide drones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Now, when the drones explode on itself, does it still get the 72 virgins?
Ooh,
no, because it didn't say Allah.
it gets a nice oil rub though.
But once the AI is able to say Allah for them, then it'll.
Fair point.
Yeah, I think that's science now.
Well, the old Arabs were very influential in discovering like a lot of science stuff, like chemistry, alchemy, algebra.
I will say this: astrology is actually very fascinating. I know. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, if you actually, the fact that we used to be.
Why is your period lining up with the moon right
No,
now?
I don't mean it in that way.
Okay.
What I mean is, like, how people from thousands and thousands of years ago were able to look up at the sky and tell time, things like that, because that's when that all originated. And like looking at the stars and things like that, like for seasons, things. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
Calendars, dates.
like if they saw a bear in the constellations, it meant they were gonna have like a good crop yield,
Did they always?
obviously. And if they didn't, they would just sacrifice a virgin.
Which more science.
Yep.
It's kind of like the Salem witch trials, right there.
Which would have been me.
You would have been the virgin. They
Yeah, back
sacrificed.
then they'd be like, "You." I'm like, "Nah, wait, no, I've done it.
Yeah.
I had sex that one time.
It was sweet."
Like the 4-year-old virgin. They're like bags of sand.
Yeah.
And they once think Mary was a virgin.
So what's your deal with
All right,
astrology?
I just find
Like
it,
space is cool. I'll give you that.
no, but the fact that I think it's interesting that looking at like the stars and the sky and things like that is how they used to be able to.
Yeah, but that's not
interpret how
astrology.
time- Oh, so
Isn't astrology strictly just like
Gemini?
I'm a Sagittarius and that means I don't get along with Cancer?
The reason I'm a raging
nobody
bitch
gets
is
along with
because I'm
cancer.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that yours is the right term. I don't know. I find the study of this-
Astronomy?
that's the word.
Yep.
And he's
Yeah.
the smart one.
Yeah, nope, apparently not. We're mixing up words. However, I'm a Taurus.
A raging bull.
Yeah, pretty much I'm a stubborn asshole, which is pretty much accurate.
Is that what a Taurus is?
Yeah,
All I know is I'm a Sagittarius or Tariot.
Sagittarius.
I don't
Secretariat?
know what that
Isn't
means.
that a horse or
That's what I
something?
always get confused with. Secretariat and Sagittarius.
Are you a secretary?
It could be. But I don't know what any of my qualities are.
I never remember mine. Women have talked to me about my sign all the time, and I never remember because I don't put a lot of stock into it.
I don't agree with when people are like, I can't talk to you because you're this, or I
Yeah.
can't date
Oh,
you 'cause
the
you're this. I'm like,
relationship won't work out because you're a Capricorn and I'm a whatever the hell.
They typically have a crystal around their neck.
Yeah.
When this person you're talking about talks to crystals, what do you mean?
they literally will hold it like this, and they will ask it a question, and depending on which way it moves,
No.
they think it's answering questions.
Yep.
Yep, and it was done in front of me, and it was the weirdest thing because I was like,
moves like
yeah. So, but here's the thing. Here's the thing is like you do have involuntary spasm. You're probably going like this, ever so slightly enough, and when you have a pendulum, it doesn't take much. And I think people reinforce
like they're holding it out like this.
like this, like straight down. So then they got like it's a slight, but a pendulum, like you don't have to move much. And I think it's just people reinforcing it, even if it's not on purpose. You're reinforcing your own thoughts. Yes.
You know what's really great?
This was a real
So
thing.
my company did the same thing in a corporate training.
Nuh-uh.
They did.
They did not.
100% they did. And so none of them could get the thing to move. And I was in my hand, and it was moving. They're like, you're really good at that. And I said, yeah, it's amazing what the subtle hand movements can do.
Yeah.
Wait.
They legit did.
Wait.
yeah.
and
Let's
they
out
call-
this corporation.
Yeah, no. How did they have everyone have their own crystal and stuff like that?
I don't know if it was a crystal. I can't remember if it was a crystal or if it was just like something hanging on a string.
You probably could have got a religious exemption.
I probably
What
could've.
was the context? Like, what was the
it was
purpose?
it was like the it had something to do with like
Are we gonna make money this year?
yeah.
No.
it
Bang-
No,
Bankruptcy.
They come and they go, we're closing this branch this year.
Yeah. The crystal has spoken.
no it had
We don't wanna do this,
It
guys. The
had
crystal's
something to
sad.
do with like mental positivity and some shit.
Dude, that's like weird.
Yeah, I know.
For a big company like yours to do that is wild.
Yeah.
If my-
What does this big company do?
We're not going to go into that.
But that's
They do
Okay, Toys
everything.
R
They
Us.
do everything wrong.
no, that's crazy. to
What
me.
did they do? Absolutely nothing.
After absolutely nothing.
If my company did that, we'd all like be like, what? It's crazy to me that corporations think they can like do this, and people are gonna sit there and be like, this is not stupid and asinine.
Was it a
lot-
humor thing or was it dead serious?
Oh, they were dead serious.
Did you guys go somewhere, or was this like?
It was just a corporate training in one of the
the traveling gypsies stopped in.
Did you set this up, Logan?
Did not at all.
Yeah, the day I start talking to a rock is the day you guys can put me down. Speaking of which, guys, I found this pretty rock outside.
Things are getting pretty serious.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
It's got me rock hard.
That people can't just like be accountable for like their own actions and what they do. So they
Right.
were like, "This rock will tell me what to do," and then you have an excuse to somebody. It's like
Oh, I did it because I'm a Aquarius.
because I'm an Aquarius. Yeah,
You're Aquarius? No, and going
no,
back to
queer
no,
curious.
going back to the astrology thing, like I just hear it so often now. It's just like blaming all of their like emotional tics and other things based on their astrology sign. I'm just like, maybe you're just a dick.
I don't really encounter a lot of people who are into that. So
Oh, I do. Tons of people.
I think it's more mainstream in like some dating worlds. I don't run into it too often either, to be honest with you.
And don't get me wrong, I find it interesting for what it is. But like when people are excusing their poor actions on it, that's where I'm like, are you sure like you just don't need some self-development?
Could you imagine if it turns off everyone followed like be with your other opposing side, and then the whole world would just be at peace? Could you imagine?
Let's try it.
Let's try it. If you are with the opposing sign, you need to get a divorce, find someone else, and see what happens in society. It won't affect the kids.
It won't affect the kids at all. They're separate from this. They have their own path.
Yeah.
They have their own sign.
And honestly, children are adults anyway. They can make their own decisions.
Oh my God.
At least that's what I've been told.
It's changing now. Thank God.
what's changing?
Where societal norms is getting back to parent accountability rather than having.
How so?
I'd say that changes in the school system are going to put more rights back in parental like guidance so that you can't get in trouble as a parent for actually doing your parenting job. Other than abuse. Abuse is obviously wrong.
Are we
But
getting back
I think
to-
that there can't be as many repercussions for parents when they say, nope, you have to do this. I think the school system will get less involved here. Cause
When can we start paddling our kids again?
that will probably actually never come back.
Probably not.
And
I
but
miss
this was
the good old paddle with the holes in it.
yeah, but this
When do I get paddled?
oh that's later.
I can
today.
paddle you later tonight,
Yeah.
dude.
Daddy.
But no, that was COVID time though, when parents actually were there seeing what their kids were learning. I think that with all like the parental board systems and with the changes in societal norms, that's kind of when I think things started shifting where people are like, I don't know if I want the public school having
So
all this power.
what you actually mean was when the parents were learning that their kids were learning nothing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or being indoctrinated.
Well, that is 100% true.
Unfortunately, I was an adult during COVID, but I've talked to so many people who like were either in school or college, and like they just did not do anything.
Anything.
Dude.
But they got their
Right.
diploma. They
And
got
like,
their,
man, what a fun time that would have been like to be at college, and they just all classes were just canceled.
I know. And then act like I loved even work when everyone's like, this is the hardest time ever. I'm like, you kidding me? I'm like,
I still had to go to work.
no, I still went to work, but it was easier than what I do now because now things are actually moving. Back then, there's an excuse for everything. It's like, oh, can't get that piece of equipment.
I was one of the few that was working in my location, and several of them took a COVID break and decided that they would not come back until COVID was over.
That's because I actually, at the time back then, I would have made more if I would have been laid off than I was working.
That's a shame.
Because with the extra money you're getting on top of unemployment, I would have been making more. But that's why a lot of people don't return back to work.
Yeah.
Because they realize I am working 40 to 50 hours a week. And when you get that break away from work, when you get out of the mundane, I think you realize there's more to life than just work.
Man, that administration really cared about people.
That was Trump.
Was that Trump?
Yeah. That was
It
such
was the beginning.
all right. I don't know how do we say this without coming off weird. I kind of missed the beginning pandemic feeling of like this is the end of the world.
I never thought it was. But it was
I
crazy.
never thought it was the end of the world.
It was
the
surreal.
first like week or two where I feel like really didn't know what was going on and how dangerous it really was. Definitely did have some I mean, I had at the time. How long ago was this? Like 5 years?
Yes, it's up there
So
now.
like I had a 4 and a 3-year-old. So like I definitely had a little bit more concern, or I don't know. Like so Britt was laid off. Well, actually Brittany was like sick the week before the shutdown. So she was off the work week before sick, and then they had the shutdown, so she was home. And like she didn't like for the first 2 weeks really, she and the kids did not leave the house at all. And because I was still going to work, and it was like, well, I'm being exposed already. I was like going to do the groceries and all that.
Well,
But it was like a wild time. Like you're going with a mask, and you're wiping off your groceries before you bring it into the like
Right.
it was surreal. I'll say
It
that.
was.
It was surreal walking in a store and you see just
bare shelves.
bare shelves. You see people dressed like...
I mean, that is the luxury we have in America. Like seeing bare shelves, and like that shakes us to our core.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to just going and like everything's there. And then when it wasn't, it was like, I remember I was at the grocery store kind of a couple nights before they announced the shutdown, but the panic had already kind of started. And like literally, it was like from a movie. Everybody was like rushing to the grocery store to get stuff.
Yeah.
And there was not toilet paper or paper towel, like all
That
that,
was
was
the stuff
gone.
as well. The
And so I
paper-
go to that
toilet paper
aisle
thing?
to get some because actually we had like 1 or 2 rolls of TP at the house. So it's like we needed TP and there was none there.
Is
And
it?
like 2 other like fathers got there with me and they're like, what the you know,
That was sheer panic. I mean, you don't appreciate a good wiped ass until
My wife-
there's no toilet paper.
Brittany had gone. No, when was this? I don't remember. I don't know. That's gonna make her
It's
bad,
crazy
so I
now
don't know
though.
the
You look
details.
back and it's like it never happened.
Yeah, I mean,
It is wild how it's like
like you run into
Just
the
kinda go back to
occasional
normal.
person that's still in panic. But like
I don't know. Like I haven't.
I've
do.
seen a couple actually.
I mean, I saw a worker over the weekend at Build-A-Bear. She was wearing a mask, but
I
I don't
mean,
know what that's based on.
Obviously, in my profession, like I run into certain people that are still on the fucking train.
The best thing though for COVID for me, because I view everything as, I think humans are very adaptable, and I didn't think COVID, based on the knowledge that was out there, that it was going to be the end of the world.
Right.
It was a fantastic time to buy stocks, and the rebound after that was fantastic. Like that's one thing I'll say about.
I did not do that.
but that's just.
I didn't have the capital to do that.
Well, the thing is, that's one of those things though in society. Like even like now with the tariff war, like it's a good time to buy because the market's in such spiral down. That's when you buy.
What would you say we should buy right now?
I would buy. I can't say that actually because I'm not a financial advisor, but I would actually buy some of the AI.
You're not a financial advisor, but if you were to advise me on finances, what would you tell me to buy?
I think that ARM Holdings, Palantir, because the drop in the market they've taken here lately, I would. If I was a financial advisor,
Palantir?
I'd look at those.
What's Palantir?
It's a little orb that you can use to see Sauron.
It's actually a military stock. They focus on like technology bases.
Military is always good to buy into.
It is, but what's good about Palantir is relative. I say newer, but their innovations technology is more tech based, which is where war's turning. So,
right.
Let me get my Robin Hood up real quick.
But I don't know. Not that like I didn't want people to die, but like
no,
it was just an interesting time. I shouldn't say I miss it. It was just like what a weird time.
I definitely don't miss it, and especially after like the true information started getting, it just got annoying.
I mean, I think I don't miss the like. It's 2022 and we still had stupid regulations where it's like, what are we doing?
When it was clear we were past like that curve there, and what I didn't like about it is we saw the worst in society. Like the division that came out of it was stupid because instead of like actually following science, and that's not one way or the other, everyone just hated you if you didn't think like them, and that stuff was irritating on both sides of the aisle.
It was.
So I'm glad we're through that. It just took way too long.
I don't think it was quite the worst of society.
But I think in some aspects it was.
I mean, the Holocaust was pretty bad.
In our lifetime, I'll say for what we experienced from polarization, it was probably the worst.
It was. Do you think things have mended since then?
I think they will be on the mend for 5-10 years. I think we're going to find another reason. And
what's mending?
Society.
Once society...
The divisiveness.
No, I think the pendulums on both sides keep going farther apart.
They do. So I actually think that society is going to, for the next 5 to 10 years, start mending. And then when people get content is when we actually find division again. So I think over the next 5-10 years, we're going to see societal change into more uniform values. And then I think after that 10 years, when things are more peaceful, that is when we start introducing polarization again. So that's what I see over the next 10
You seem
years.
very versed in this. What do you think the next pandemic's going to be?
Pandemic?
Yeah.
I think
the frog flu.
So
the frog flu, it's going to get us.
The frog flu. Well, all the frogs are gay.
In reality, this what, not to jump back into AI, but to jump back into AI, where the polarization is going to come is with robotic rights. Actually, so you're going to have people who become dating AI. You're going to have the robotics and things that are AI girlfriends, and you're going to start having robotic rights. And this is going to create
If robots get rights before trans get rights, I will light myself on fire.
Well, can the robots get pregnant?
Do trans not have rights currently?
No.
Oh, okay. You want to elaborate?
The radical right.
I was waiting for him to be like, do you want to elaborate? And be like, no.
So as far as robot rights, because I don't think we're that far out.
That just sounds so stupid.
It does sound stupid, but
I know that's something that like will come.
It's wild because it sounds.
Now,
like
what
science
timeline
fiction.
are we talking about?
I was
5
about to
years,
ask.
10,
20,
10 to 15. We are going to start talking about AI and robotic rights because as they start developing,
that will make a big splash in like the sex robot industry.
There's money there.
I already have one pre-ordered.
Yeah.
I do not think it's going to take 10 years,
receipt.
to be honest with you. I think the rapid pace we're going, especially with AI, I think in the next 5 years, we're not even going to recognize technology.
I mean, it's true because essentially
I've seen some deep fake videos recently where it's like, you can still tell they're fake, but barely.
They're getting better.
They're
getting
very
you
good.
Can't tell.
And like, what happens? You see a video where like Trump's like, round up all the Jews.
I mean, we've already seen a lot of that. Even the videos of, I know a lot of it's like audio, but like a lot of the videos of him signing orders, like a lot of those look legitimate. Mm-hmm. And they're
like
not.
The one where he's like, it's okay to say fag and retarded.
Right.
Like that video, it looks pretty good. I mean, you can tell it's not real, but like it looks.
And it's funny, but like
we won't be able to tell the difference here soon. Like,
Exactly.
and that's just a fact.
I actually think we won't be able to tell the difference within the next couple of years.
Yeah, which is it's a scary thought because So I'm obviously someone who's not big into regulation, but you do have to regulate what AI is able to mimic as an individual people.
Right.
Because
I think AI is going to do wonders in the medical industry.
absolutely yes.
Um,
It'll also help improve.
Video games are going to be off the chain.
It'll improve our ability to get work done, especially administratively.
Right.
But we won't need workers anymore.
I was actually about to ask, what do you think is going to happen to the workforce with this, and how are we going to get by?
Innovation creates new jobs. They're different jobs. They're not what you see today, but for example, technology basis.
But not enough jobs.
Like not everyone's.
I mean,
gonna be able to
essentially,
adapt
if
to
AI
that.
gets so advanced,
Human adaptation, and this is where like I think people are very short-sighted in regards to how technology has always worked. When the car came out, you're like, oh, everyone's losing jobs. No, it created more automotive jobs.
yeah,
The
but like
jobs
if you're
change.
Yeah, but
if
with
you're
10
talking about AI that can write its own code,
We're also talking about.
But that will create different industries in the market for people who have jobs and new industries. That's the
it'll become low, like
And-
low
and-
wage, low skill jobs,
and we're talking about 10 billion people
in the whole world
and
we're-
growing.
and growing.
We are growing, but that is the whole thing though that happens in these technology booms is it does create different industries that create jobs.
Do you think it's going to create enough of those industries? Because
You think we're growing fast now as a society? The amount of infrastructure and things like that need to be built to even be able to sustain this will automatically right there create millions and millions of jobs. So just the infrastructure to sustain this, and then out of the industry, what those create technologically is also going to create new jobs. I mean, we're going to have new.
AI will fill.
But we're going to need billions of jobs.
I mean, we already have billions of jobs. I mean,
We won't.
yes, we will.
We won't. We're going to get to I'm concerned we're going to get to a point that we're not going to need to work. How are we going to sustain ourselves
So-
without a socialist society?
The thing is,
We're
if
gonna
you
have
go-
to start killing off some.
No, that's not how this works. It's just not. This is never. It's everyone says this, and that's never been how society has ever gone through every innovation. Everyone said, "Now we don't need
However-
these jobs," and they're created.
Listen, AI is totally different than anything we've ever had before, though.
I agree with that, but I will say this
As far as we
administratively.
know.
I'll say this administratively.
You bring up a good point, Logan.
The justice
pyramids.
system, like paralegals, you won't need those jobs. You won't need a lot of this administrative.
We won't need Walmart greeters.
That's
We'll always need Walmart greeters.
Walmart.
If I didn't have a Walmart greeter there to greet me, I'd never go into Walmart.
Or to check my receipt after I just watched me self-scan.
You know what I miss?
Well, that's what Sam's Club already has that.
I miss
Wow.
the happy the smiley face stickers.
can't believe they lost the lawsuit and had to change everything.
Isn't that wild?
It is
That's such a
crazy.
big
I didn't even know that was a
company.
thing.
You remember the smiley face from Walmart back?
Yeah,
when
I
we
mean,
were
I
kids?
remember that.
Yeah, yeah. It was,
You know what?
Lost the lawsuit.
Can
Why?
we
Trademark.
can we
Because
try to
they didn't
start
create
something
the
and bring that
smiley
back?
face.
No,
Are you sure?
we don't have the grassroots movement for it.
Come on.
Let's make a petition.
I want that big ass smiley face on the Walmart buildings again. Let's
Roll
do this.
back.
But no, I actually think the next division is going to be people who also are technologies that are going to make us essentially cyborgs, because I know everything's like Neuralink and things like that are crazy. They start off in the medical field, and then when they become safe in 25, 30 years, people will start having chips to essentially make them smarter and take in
Yeah.
information where you will be less capable in society without it. Kind of like the cell phone.
Right.
People were resisting the cell phone. Now everyone has a cell phone or a smartphone
Yeah.
at least. So that's what's-
I literally named my my iPhone the Brain because it is essentially my brain.
I will not get a chip.
I think people will.
I was actually
because-
gonna
People will.
I was gonna ask you guys actually when it does get to that point, what are you gonna do?
When it's proven safe, to be honest with you, like
Probably
I would
do it.
But you will be almost forced into it.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it
Homicide,
works.
suicide.
Do you think it's the mark of the beast?
No, that to me is so stupid. When people say that the market base is from innovation technologies, just like for example, when
just to clarify though, like this is the resident Jew.
It is the resident.
anyway,
Jew.
so but let's just say everyone always has these like prophecies where like for example that chip that they're talking about in the hand.
yeah.
Using something that's inserted inside of you as your form of commerce to scan, just like we have our phones now that tap to pay and things
Right.
like that. And everyone's like, oh, that's the mark of the beast. No, if someone creates that, it's technology advancement where you don't have to carry anything, which society wants to go to
So
in the future.
I agreed with you on the chip in the hand.
Yeah.
But if we get to a point where
You need it to
essentially
buy
our
things.
mind is more computer than human,
Mm-hmm.
whoa. what are we?
Then we'll have to be in the woods starting fires.
And that is actually what we are creating. We are creating a society where, just say 500 years from now, our evolution is going to be technology evolution where we will essentially be like cyborgs.
Yeah, we either cyborgs or we'll be completely digital.
Because if you
Maybe we're digital right now, though.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, the Matrix theory is real.
one thing that is going to disrupt religion, and I say it's technology here with AI, is going to disrupt religion, because when you do start giving robotic rights and stuff like that as if they have souls,
Right.
you really distort what being a human is and what having a soul is. So, for example, that show Upload, entertaining show from Amazon,
yeah.
it is a fascinating concept where when you are dying, you can essentially download your brain, upload it into a city and stuff like that, and live in your own consciousness of a body you create.
Yeah.
That is not something that in 100, 200 years from now is so far out of reach.
I'd bring up, I don't think it's even going to take that long.
No, but I just say that conservatively, because if I say 20 years and 20 years from now,
Yeah.
it's going to be like, oh, you fucking idiot. It's like, no. People who deny the fact that we are creating these systems and processes just because you want to act like society can't go there, it is going
Right.
there, and people do need to wake up that we are creating this, and that's what's scary about it.
It is.
The human world as we know it now is going to change drastically.
I think, well, we even give your timeline 100, 200 years. I don't think we're going to be human anymore. And
well,
like,
I'm going to upload myself into a crocodile because their lifespans are hundreds of years.
That's fair. There you
And
go.
I can sleep underwater and nobody can bother me.
That's a cool.
That sound like bliss
You're
for
like a
you?
superhero.
yeah, basically.
I wouldn't call myself a hero, but I could definitely do the death roll.
That's true. No, but that honestly, it's fascinating times we live in, but it's also scary in regards to that, because this is going to be the time. If I think anything, this is going to be a religious divisiveness.
Oh, it is. Because at that point, whenever we do become, when we become the technology we're creating, like, that's when we're going to really have to come to grips with, like, what is the soul?
Yeah. Which
we still don't really understand.
Which is actually fascinating, because right now in society, like I said, over the next 5-10 years, I actually think that society is going to come back to religion a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think over, just say 50 years from now, I think religion is going to become the question with advanced technologies. But it's actually plateauing. So like Christianity, for example, was lowering every year, and now it's plateauing, which is showing that more people are starting to go back to
Right.
church. So it's actually going to show an upward trend here momentarily, but I think that technology is going to start making people question what actual existence is.
As our resident Jew, why are you so focused on Christianity?
Okay, so
Because he's trying to disprove it.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. Well, Christianity is the especially in the United States, it is like the fundamental religion, and anyone who says, like, it doesn't matter what religion you are, even if you're atheist, Christianity is inherent good
It is,
in the
yeah.
world, because it does create a set of norms and common values that you can't argue. You shouldn't murder. That you shouldn't. You shouldn't. It's a standard moral basis. And for example, like the difference between Judaism and Christianity is, Judaism, you don't believe in having convert everybody. You focus much on how you can be a benefit in the world, but the goal is not to
How rich
convert.
you can get.
There's not enough
Yeah.
real estate in heaven if you
Yeah,
convert everybody.
yeah. Christianity is heavily based in conversion and getting people to the church, things like that. Judaism is more community based on the community you have, and if people join, great. If not, you're going to leave them alone. So what's good about Christianity is it does invest those values into society that are inherent goods. Whether you're religious or not, having good standard moral practices is good for society as a whole.
That's the first I'm hearing this.
I can definitely say that I definitely prefer the let's convert instead of the other one.
Do you actually prefer conversion?
Versus killing is
Oh,
what I'm
killing.
assuming he's getting to.
Oh, you're the killing. Oh, killing. I was like,
Yeah, killing typically hasn't gone well for religions.
yeah.
But they've all taken their turn.
Killing.
But no, it's just gonna be fascinating to me to see where society goes over the next 10 years, because this is going to be a disturbance in our way of life like we've never seen.
Oh, I agree.
Even beyond the internet, this will be bigger than the internet. Impacting the internet, inherent goods. Everyone thought the internet was gonna take away jobs. It created way more jobs. Just another example here.
It created Steve Jobs.
But all the jobs the internet created could be taken by AI.
Yeah, and then a new industry will
Right.
be created.
Right.
And there's gonna be people who facilitate the AI.
Do you have
But not if it's writing itself.
do you have ideas as to where these jobs could go when AI is taking all of them?
Maintaining like plants, facilities, a lot of energy jobs.
But I mean, the AI is going to be able to take
Feeding
care of that too.
humans.
They will not be able to do.
We will
maintenance on
become
themselves.
slaves to
Yes.
our AI masters.
It's not going to take long.
And then you will get into so this is the thing I know you mentioned earlier about like socialist societies is if AI were to advance beyond human capability and AI decided that it can run our economies without people having to work and people just living and eating based on AI technologies, that is when we'd run into an AI run world where you are correct, the humans would just exist.
Yeah.
And for some people, they probably prefer it. You don't have to work, don't have to do all this
It'd be
stuff.
awful.
But there will
Yeah.
always
Oh,
be people at the top who are creating new innovations and things like that.
Well, yeah, people at the top, but all the rest of us are just like living in that society with no purpose.
And that's where you get oligarchy. So I'm saying like that's where you're saying is the alternate that you're describing ends up being that communist socialist society if AI were to boom and we allowed people to strictly live off the AI technology. That is
where do you think that leaves society whenever we have no purpose for being?
I mean that's the question of life that people have asked themselves since existence is purpose. I think that people do need jobs because I think they need purpose. I think that the family life is good because I think it also increases purpose. As obviously, I don't think that should be your sole purpose and not having individual identity. But I do think that it'll throw in a lot of questions, like I said, spiritually, how you live your life. This AI thing will probably create a disturbance in mental thought like we've never seen.
I agree.